if you want something hardworking that doesn't complain, that's an A player, that is passionate, that takes responsibility, that will always help you out, do you have the kind of business that would attract that level of person? Welcome back to the Detailing Business Class podcast, where you'll learn proven tactics and strategies on sales, marketing, and operations to grow your business. I'm your host, Oscar Gill, and my goal is to elevate you as a detailer and business owner to the next level. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to motivate your team. I got this question a few times on the YouTube comments, so I figured I'd make this an episode. And this is going to be applicable whether you have one part-time helper for 15 hours a week or you have 4 full-time employees working on the business. This is going to be applicable to either situation. And also, a quick note is that on the 25th, which is a Thursday, I'll be opening up enrollment into my online marketing course, SEO for Detailers. I've been getting a lot of requests on when it's opening again. So on the 25th, it'll be opening for a limited time. SEO is when you rank your website on the first page of Google in your local area for specific keywords. So if you're in Austin and someone searches for paint correction Austin, your website will show up on the first page. It's how we've grown to over $10,000 per month in our business. If you want to sign up for the waiting list, you can click the link down in the show notes, or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link down in the description box. So let's go ahead and get started with this episode. And welcome to another episode. We are going to talk about how do you keep your team motivated in your business. Now, there are so many levels to this question just because it depends on so many things as far as how big is your team, how many hours are they working, who's doing what, like what are the different positions, like what is your vision with the company. So there's a lot of ways that you can kind of go about this. So I'll just try to touch on a few points on what I think we do in our business and what helps out, what I've seen in other companies like that I worked at as an employee and what made me hate that place or dislike certain people because of the way that they ran things. And just kind of give you some insight in how I see things. Because when someone asks me that, like on an Instagram live or something, it's like it's such a like in-depth question that it's hard just to give like a 30-second answer. Just because there's so many layers to it. So I think, and I don't think there's like a starting point, right? Like there's so many ways that you can go about this. Now, if you want an employee, a helper that's motivated, that is hardworking, that doesn't complain, that puts effort in, that really takes responsibility for his role, whatever that role is, you have to have a business that would facilitate someone wanting to come work with you that has those characteristics, right? So I read this book not read the book, or was it a book, podcast? I don't know, but they gave like an analogy, an example of, and this is way off topic, but this is how I circled it around to business, where the example was if you want, like, let's say you're a guy, right? And you want to meet the girl of your dreams and you know exactly what she is. She's going to be this height. She does this. She has this career. She, whatever, right? And the person said, are you the kind of guy that lady girl would be interested in? And what he was saying is everyone wants to just say what they want, but they don't ask the question, are they the person that person would want to be with? And I was like, dang, that's like a pretty deep question to ask yourself. So the way I kind of transformed that to business is like, if you want something hardworking that doesn't complain, that's an A player, that is passionate, that takes responsibility, that will always help you out, do you have the kind of business that would attract that level of person, right? Because as the business owner, you want to make all these things like, I want someone hardworking, that doesn't complain, that's responsible, that is, intellectual, that knows what he's doing, that can pick up things quick. And it's like, but you have such a crappy ran operation that anyone that has those characteristics, they're not going to stay with you for a while. They don't want to be with you because you're a pain in the rear to be with, that you're not motivating them to actually do better because you're just complaining yourself about how things are always going wrong. My voice is cracked. So it's like, are you the business that would attract that level of talent and that they would want to stay with you, right? That's a big question. And again, I'm not saying you have to go and like, okay, yeah, we're going to pay $50,000 to this entry-level detailer. It's not like that. It's more so of like, no matter of what position that they're in, right? They have to be aligned. Well, first and foremost, like another big part, I'm gonna go. This is gonna be like a very hard tangent, like this whole episode, is that you have to make sure you have the right person in the seat in the first place. Like, and this is, you've probably realized this yourself, of like, you can't really change anyone. You can only, their limit is what their limit is. Now, that doesn't mean someone can't improve to be great or to be better, but that's because they are now realizing their full potential. So it's kind of weird to explain, but like, for instance, if we're talking about athletes, right? Let's say NBA, and let's say you take I don't know, James Harden, right? He's currently playing for the 76ers, right? He's a superstar. Well, not superstar. I don't think he's a superstar anymore, but he's an all-star, right? And let's say you go and you bring in some rookie, right? Let's say, like, it doesn't matter, just a rookie. And you tell James Harden, hey, James Harden, can you go and show that rookie how to be a superstar? Can you show him how to drop 45 points in one game? Can you show him how to do your patented step back? And as much as James Harden would go and take that rookie and say, hey, here's how I do the move. Here's how I think. Here's what I do. Here's how I read the defense. Here's how I read the offense. Here's what and he breaks everything down. That individual, the rookie, will still not amount to anything near what James Harden can do, just because it's the inherent X factor that individual has, right? So as much as you try to train someone, teach someone, and get them to improve, they can only get as good as what their internal potential is, right? So if you want to make John an all-star in your team, you're like, dude, I know you can do it. You're gonna be all-star. It's gonna coach you, send you to training, get you more hours, get you more reps, right? But if that John dude does not have the internal X factor to say, oh, yes, I want to do more. I have the potential. I see myself doing more. I want to go after this, and I want to be better, and I know I can. John's not going to get better to the level that you think you want him to be, right? So another part of it is, like, you have to make sure you have the right people in the right seats, because you have to be able to see, okay, who's actually going to be the all-star? And I say all-star very loosely. It's just a word as far as to kind of show, like, who's going to be an outstanding player. So that's another big part of, like, when it comes to the work culture, people working hard, people taking responsibility, like, all those things, it's also on who you hire. Because if you hire someone that just does not care, that doesn't really care if they have a job because they live at home, or because, it's this summer thing and they just want to get a few $100 so they can go out to, California in 3 months, it doesn't matter what you do, because it doesn't matter how you talk to them, what they do, or what you tell them, or how you train them. They just don't care, right? So it's very important to make sure you put the right person in the right seat, or whenever you're interviewing and hiring someone, that you hire the right person. It doesn't necessarily mean, it doesn't mean anything at all that they are trained or that they have knowledge in detailing, because that doesn't matter, because you can train them in that. What you're looking for is, does this person have the characteristics to be a good worker, a good human being? Right? Are they going to listen? Are they going to be proactive? Are they going to take responsibility? Are they going to be, and again, I'm not saying, oh yeah, like they're going to handle your marketing and they're going to help grow your business to, 10 times what it is right now. That's not what I'm saying. But even at the most entry-level position, right, which is maybe just like an entry-level detailer that's cleaning wheels and tires and washing the vehicle, they still have to be on time. They still have to take responsibility of their role. They still have to make sure they're following the process. They have to have the good work ethic. They have to have good communication skills, right? The detailing part, easily trained, right? Again, assuming they have the right characteristics. Are they used to labor work? Are they used to working outside? Are they used to, following instructions when it comes to doing whatever, right? So even though the detailing part is probably the easiest part of having a good employee or a good team member, they still have to have those characteristics that would aid you, like that helps you teach them, So yeah, and like a perfect example is Angel, right? He's been with us for, I think, almost a year now. And with him, we're introducing vinyl wrap and PPF services without us telling him anything, right? You could see that he's super passionate about learning. You can just talk to him, and you can just hear it. You can see it, that he wants to learn more, that he wants to do more. He goes home and watches YouTube videos on his own merit because he wants to learn how to do PPF and vinyl wrapping, like on his own terms, without anyone telling him anything. Like, he is driven to learn and do more. So when I saw that, and you can ask him, because I've told him from the very beginning of, like, dude, I see how passionate and hungry you are. So when it came to vinyl wrapping, I didn't care about getting my forerunner wrapped, but I know he did, and I just wanted to give him an opportunity to just practice. At that time, we weren't thinking about offering PPF or anything. It's just like, dude, I can see you really want to do it. I'll here, like I just bought it. Go wrap something. Like I didn't care about what. Just wrap something. Wrap that front valance if you want. Again, no pressure, but I just saw that he was super hungry to learn and to get some reps in with vinyl wrapping. So with that one, it's like, okay, I see it. I see it in him. Like let's do that. And if you know, fast forward a bit, it's like, okay, like here, you want to wrap the rear valance. Oh, hey, you want to do Denny's? Hey, you want to do this? Oh, hey, I ordered some more film. Like wrap your car if you want. And you just feed that hunger because you could see that he wants it. Now, is there in any way that you could have that same level? Like you can't teach that to someone, right? I can't. If we were to hire someone else, I can't show them how to be hungry like Angel. I can't teach them how the way Angel thinks and why he's so driven or passionate to keep on to learning more. Like just that's an inherent thing that individual has. And again, not that everyone has to have that. That's like a no, right? Because you literally can't have, well, not literally, but it just the way that the world works. Like not everyone's gonna have that same amount of, you know, drive and passion and such. But you get the point where like when you see someone that has it, they have it. And someone else, they might have it, but just in a different capacity, right? The way that they look at things or the way that they're motivated by things or what they want or what they find interest in, it might be completely different, but you have to find what those points are to see how you can help facilitate growth in that area for them, right? So when you're hiring someone, you know, just ask them, like, what are you interested in? What would you like to do for your own self? Is that what's the ideal company that you work at, or what's the ideal business that you start, or what's the ideal project that you work on, or you know, what do you watch on YouTube on your spare time, right? And you just try to find what are some things of interest, right? And from there, that's on you to say, okay, well, how can I facilitate any sort of growth here, or things that like would help him or her that would also help us as well, right? So if like if you know, if we're hiring a video editor, it's okay. So you know, of course, like you have to learn. You need to know how to shoot and edit content, right? But aside from that, it's like, oh, so what kind of content interests you the most? And they're like, oh, well, I like small mini documentaries. Like, oh, that's very interesting. You know, like that. Is there a video that we can make that had that small that mini documentary feel to it now? Is there actually some projects that we can do maybe where we make like a whole series or like a 4-part video series that are mini documentary type, you know? And then you just, you know, like that's how you're able, like for us, for a video editor, it's like I would still need content and you like mini documentary type films or videos or whatever. So how can we integrate that into a series that we do here? And 4 videos back to back to back, they give you that mini documentary feel. And again, like that's exactly supporting what that person specifically likes, and I'm still getting content out of it. And it's like it's a win-win, right? And then if there's any specific training or like, oh hey, there's this, you know, guy I follow, he does this training course for $400 where whatever, I think it would help us create a better content. Okay, yeah, like buy it for sure. Like let's put that to use. So that's how that works. And again, that's that same framework in any position, right? If there's a detailer, right? Obviously, you know, it's like, oh, so you do it like you want to eventually want to start your own business. Oh, so would you like to learn? Would you like to learn paint correction? Would you like to learn ceramic coating? Would you like to know how to properly do a headlight restoration? And if you see that fire, that urge, that curiosity in the individual, well, you make sure that you kind of, you know, feed them that those opportunities to actually learn more. So I mean, there's so many ways to motivate and to make sure you're cultivating a good work culture. Again, and it does not have to be a team of 10 for you to be like, oh yeah, now I have a team. You with just one other part-time helper helping you 20, 25 hours a week, that in itself is enough for you to take it serious to say, okay, we have a team. There's a work culture. There's a standard. There's this is how we do things. And it's like from just one part-time helper is like, it starts there. You don't wait till you have a team of 4 to say, okay, yep, time to focus on work culture, time to focus on being a better boss. That's not how it works, right? From day one, with whoever, with however many hours that they work, you should be operating at that level. So then goes to work culture. Like right here, we have a small team of 4. That's not a lot of people, right? But even then, like you can feel that the work culture here between us 4 is it doesn't feel like work. It feels like we're just coming to work every day with some friends. It doesn't matter the job. It doesn't matter how bad, how short, how long, whatever. It's like we're just a bunch of dudes here detailing and posting content. Like that's exactly how it feels, right? And that doesn't mean like we're still working hard. We're still trying to max out the schedule. We're still posting a lot of content. There's still a lot of things moving on. But at no point are we saying, man, that guy over there sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go in today. No, we're all here for the same goal, for the same vision. We all want the same thing, right? To make more money and to grow, right? Everyone wants that, right? No matter what position, where you are, everyone wants to make more money and to grow. So it's like you and a lot of this is like you have to reflect on yourself, right? Are you a good boss? And I don't necessarily want to say boss because if it's just you and someone else, don't look at yourself as a boss. Just, you know, you're the leader, right? I don't really say the word boss. I never throw that word term around. You just have to be a good leader. You have to show the person that you have their best interest, that you will look out for them, that you are there to help them in whatever capacity, right? Because they're there to help you and you're there to help them. So it's like that when it comes to like how do you motivate a team? How do you make sure everyone works hard? It's like all your bases have to be covered. You have to be a good leader. You have to have a good work culture. You have to explain because at the end of the day, we're just cleaning cars. It's not a big deal. We're cleaning cars, detailing cars, polishing cars. It's not a big deal. So you have to align what your vision is and the future of your business, company, brand, and really let that individual know what you have planned, right? Again, do you know what their goals are? Maybe they want to start their own detailing business. So how can you fuse that with what you're doing, right? And it's like, look, again, we're just cleaning and detailing cars, but they still play a role in how you're able to be successful and how you're going to continue to grow the business. So you might be saying, well, he's only working 20 hours a week and he's only helping me with the basic stuff. And it's like, well, that's a big deal. He's helping you free up more time. He's helping you get more cars on the schedule. He's helping you have a more clear sense of mind so you can go work on other tasks. So even though he's only working 20 hours a week, that allows you to go and work on other things to scale and get to a bigger part or bigger phase in your business. And well, if that happens, more opportunities will open up, right? What if at some point you need someone to go and handle all the details for you and you need someone to run the mobile van? Well, that's an opportunity where it's like, hey, if we keep on growing and you're up for it, eventually there'll be a opening where like if you want to run the mobile van and we'll hire someone with you, that's also a possibility. So it's like, you can't just like hire someone and be like, oh yeah, you're just here to clean cars. No, like there's a deeper meaning to everything, right? Even if someone that's just 15 hours a week, right? Cleaning wheels and tires, washing the vehicle, prepping the van, like that plays a role for you to continue to grow your business. And you sit down with the individual and you say, look, here are my goals over the next 3 years. Right now we're making, $6,500 a month and it's just me. And with you, I'd like to get to at least 10,000 a month. And from there, if, I'm going to be looking to continue to grow the business and to, get another van or get a shop. And hey, if that happens, there's going to be more opportunities for growth, which means you get paid more, which means there's more responsibilities. But hey, like if depending on what your goals are, if you want to help me grow this business, if you want to help me scale, if I can help you in whatever way to facilitate growth for your personal self and your future, I mean, let me know and we can work together. As a very collaborative, like, hey, you're helping me. Can I help you in any way? Like, here are my goals. Does that of any way interest you? Would you want to, like, that's literally how it is. And on that same note, though, like, you'll have some bad hires. It's going to happen. We've had some bad hires. And not just bad hires, but you'll have bad circumstances, right? You don't have everything prepped to hire someone. You don't know the process to train someone. You don't know what their hours should be. You don't know what to do. Like sometimes you're gonna be like, man, I have you on the clock and like there's no cars. So how do I do? Like, it's a big learning process. It's gonna take time for you yourself to understand how to hire someone, how to interview, how to train, how to like nurture, how to mentor, how to like it itself is gonna take you a long time for you to become a better leader. And it's a part of the process. It's a part of growing a business. And the goods are goods and the bads are bads, right? Someone does a no call no show one day. Someone just leaves and never comes back. Someone just doesn't care and doesn't really put the time or attention in their work. And you're there scratching your head. You're like, why does this dude being like this? It's gonna happen. Like I cannot, as much books and things that you see about training and hiring and growing a team, like bad things are still gonna happen. Again, whether it's like just someone showing up late or someone not showing up at all, things are gonna happen, and it's really on the on the worst days that you learn the most. You know, I can't tell you what that's gonna be, but I mean, I can look as a whole in my business, and you know, the worst mistakes that I've made. Maybe underquoting, maybe it was taking too long on a job, maybe it was a customer not being happy, maybe it was me doing too much and not getting paid enough. All those big mistakes is where I learned the most, where I was like, oh, okay, so I shouldn't do that on this size vehicle. Or, oh, okay, so next time I get a vehicle of this size, I should actually quote this much. Or, oh, okay, so next time they say about this, it really means this. So next time I should ask this question instead. So for me, and I'd say for a lot of people, the, you know, bad times, the ones where you make the most mistakes, is where you learn the most and you're able to correct. And moving forward, you're like, no, 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 no. Last time I made a decision, that was bad. I'm going to do this and it's going to turn out better. Maybe not, you know, the best, but it's like, it's going to be better than last time. So you're always going to learn from your biggest mistakes. And that's no different when it comes to hiring or growing a team. So it's okay to have that mindset of like, yeah, you're not going to be perfect. And the same thing again, like it's talking to that helper employee and say, hey, I'm going to make mistakes. You know, this is my first time here. If there's anything that you see that I can improve on, if there's anything that you think I could do better, is there anything in the business that you're like, hey, have you checked that? Let me know, because like we're here together. It's just us two. I'm not here to be a boss. I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do. You're going to help me. I'm going to instruct you a lot of the ways. But hey, if you see something that you would, you know, that think that there's another way to do, or you're curious on why we do things, ask me. Maybe I'll learn something from you. Like, you know, like don't have this big ego of saying, oh, well, I'm the boss man, so just listen to me. No, I mean, again, maybe 98% of everything that person says is you know, going to get shut down because they just don't know. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't have an open mind to say, yeah, if you have any feedback, like let me know, or ask me why we do this and I'll explain it to you. So you can also learn and you can see why we do things the way that they are. So, I mean, there's so many ways that you can go about this in terms of how to keep a team motivated and how to make sure that you're getting the most out of them. Because another thing is, like, even if you might have the best intentions and the best, goals for that individual, as far as going back to the earlier example of you want someone to be an all-star, you want someone to be a superstar, you want them to really be like an A+ player. But if that individual does not have the potential to become that, then you're actually setting up that person for failure, right? Because for you might be like, no, I believe in you, bro. Like in 3 months, you're going to be a crew leader running the van, and you'll take out the van and you go talk to the customers and you'll accept payment and I'll pay you more. Let's grow this thing. But that specific individual doesn't want to do that. They don't have the customer service skills. They don't care about accepting payment. They don't care about like quality control. And not that they're like pulling a fast one on you, but like you don't see that they're not able to go up to that limit and you're pushing them to go to that limit. You're setting up that individual for failure because that's not the right person for the right seat, right? So even as good of intentions that you have to try to push someone to greater heights, if that individual does not want to go to greater heights, you are now putting them in a very uncomfortable position, and that's unfair to them. So this is just dealing with people at that point. You know, yes, there's a lot about detailing and training, yes, but you're just talking to another human being, right? You're seeing what they want. You're seeing what they care about. You're seeing what their limits are. You're seeing what's something that motivates them, what doesn't, what they care about, what they don't care about. They might not even want to talk about detailing at all when you're there, and they'd rather just, talk about other things, or, like there's just so many levels to understanding how to have a team and how to make sure everyone is happy to be there and wants to be there, right? And like at the end of the day, it is just cleaning and detailing cars, but you can still have a great work environment where someone isn't dreading going to work, right? You want them to be motivated and excited to go work, with that person, right? If you're working in a team, like even if the work sucks, if they're not happy with the work, if the team environment is great, they're like, yeah, like, I don't really care about the work, but the people are there are great, like it's really fun being out there. And just look at all for yourself, where have you gone to shop or any retail store, and it's like you can see everyone's kind of happy, and they might not, let's say like Discount Tire, right? I don't think many people there are going to be hyper passionate about changing tires, or not many of them are going to stay with the company long enough to own their own store. But the camaraderie amongst them might be great. The people that work there might be great. The work environment might be great, because I remember back in whenever it was 2011, 12, when I worked at Discount Tire, I didn't care about tires, but everyone that was working there was really fun. The store manager, Jason, he was fantastic. Like, it was cool working underneath him. He was always cool. He'd always motivate us. He'd always, like, do things to kind of just keep the morale up. It's like, I didn't care about tires, but the people there, how they ran it. Don't get me wrong, there's still some things that were like, why do we have to do that? Or why do I have to shave my face every day? Or, why do we have to have a meeting every single morning? But regardless of that, it's like, oh, but everyone here is cool. Like, it's fun. We're always making jokes. It's hard work. But, even when we're down one or two people, when the schedule's absolutely max, it's like, man, everyone's still like kind of, making jokes around here and like having a good time, while we're getting absolutely demolished with like customers and vehicles and tires, and like we're short on people. Like, it's still a good place to be. So like, that's kind of the mentality you want to have, is like, yes, we're cleaning, detailing cars. They might not actually be super passionate or like, something that they want to do, but the work environment as a whole, you and how they communicate, and, the relationship between you two, or however many, can still be something that they look forward to, So I'll go ahead and end the episode right there. Let me know in the DMs on what your specific questions are about having a team. This is just like a very high level. How do you keep a team motivated? But if you have any specific question, you can always send me a DM on Instagram, which is @DitaGroove, and I'll read it, and eventually I'll make a podcast, or I'll make a YouTube video or something on your questions. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you on the next one.